Hey, what's up, fellas? How you doing? Man, Antonelli here.
What's going on, guys? Man, Antonelli here. Today we're talking about picking up the ball better out of the pitcher's hand. So I get this question a ton. What's the best way to recognize the pitch? Recognize fastball, where it's going, recognize breaking ball and off speed. And so let's talk about some of the more simple ways to do it. And then I'm going to give you a couple different ways to practice this. Whether you're at a team practice, you're on your own, you can find a buddy or a teammate that can throw. We'll talk about a bunch of different ways that you can do it. So the first thing, when I'm hitting as a hitter, I need to find out where the release point's going to be, all right? This may sound simple, but every pitcher is going to be different. You're going to have some pitchers that are more overhand throwers. You'll have some that are 3/4, low 3/4. You might even have some that are sidearm. And so when I'm doing my prep work, when I'm getting ready to hit, I'm making sure that I'm picking up the release point of the pitcher and figuring out, okay, where is that ball going to come out of? Now, when I'm hitting, I'm going to get myself ready to hit, and I'm not going to just focus in on that release point the whole time. And so what I like to do is I like to start off when I'm going through here and I'm getting ready to hit. Now I set up. I've got just a general kind of soft focus. I don't particularly pick out any point. Some people will stare at the hat or a different point other than the release point, and then they're going to go there. That's okay. For me, I just have like a general soft focus. I see the pitcher, I just see his whole entire body. Now, as the pitcher starts to get into their windup, when they break their hands, I then go to the release point, right? So here he comes, I go to the release point right here. And so now I'm going to be able to see the ball out of the hand as early and as long as possible, all right? So I'm imagining this box right where the ball is going to come out, okay? So that's the first thing. And again, you're going to work on this on the on-deck circle. And then once you get into the game, you'll know exactly where they're throwing from, and you can go to that box area and pick up the ball as early as you possibly can, okay? Now, what are we looking for, okay? What are we looking for as the ball comes out of the hand? Well, there's a couple of different things. So the first thing we're going to look for is the position of the wrist, the position of the hand, and where the fingers are on the ball. And this is something that you may not even realize that you see, but as you study more pitchers, as you see more pitches, as you continue to move up the game, these things that you may not recognize, you will start to almost subconsciously learn as you see more and more balls coming out of the hand. And so let me give you an example. A fastball for most pitchers, when the ball's coming out of the release point right here, this position, right? So one, the position of the wrist, right? So you're going to see more of a wrist, a thicker wrist, right? You're going to see less fingers because my fingers are going to be basically behind the ball, right? So this is the position hitters are used to seeing on a fastball, all right? Now let me change it. Let's go to a curveball, all right? So here's a curveball. So on a curveball, you can see my wrist is positioned differently. So this is more of a fat or thick wrist. This is more of a skinny wrist, right? My fingers now on the side of the ball. So they're no longer behind the ball, they're on the side of the ball, right? And so you'll start to see the ball will look a bit different. This will look different than this, right? My fingers are more on the side, not behind. You see a little less white there. You see more here, okay? Now every pitch is a little different. Slider is going to be somewhere here. A changeup is going to be more, again, thick wrist here. So these are small differences that you'll start to pick up the more that you play the game, the more pitches that you see, all right? So that's the first thing. The second thing is you're going to see the ball come out of the hand a little bit differently. So let's say on a breaking ball. On a breaking ball, you're going to see a little bit more of a hump in the ball. Okay, so you're going to see the ball, when it comes out of my hand, it's going to look like it's going a bit more up, again, a little bit more of a hump. A fastball is going to be less of that. It's going to look like it's coming a bit more downhill at you, okay? So every pitch is gonna have just a bit of a different way of leaving the hand. So it's another thing that you're gonna work on, you're gonna notice as you play more and more games. Again, it happens very quickly, but the more you see it, the more quickly you can process it. The last thing is spin. And so each ball is gonna spin differently. A four-seam ball is gonna spin this way. A breaking ball is gonna spin this way. So every ball is gonna spin a little bit differently. And so you're learning how to see different spin and what the spin signifies as far as a pitch. This is, like I said, this is breaking ball, this will be fastball, four-seam will look a little bit different, right? And so now you've got position of the hand and the ball, how the ball comes out of the hand, and then what the spin is like. Okay, so those are some things that are gonna be different, and they're gonna help us identify the pitch and understand where the pitch is going. What pitch is it? What's the speed gonna be? Where's it gonna go? I'm trying to see that as early as I possibly can. Okay, now that's great, but how do we work on it? So here are some ways to work on it. One, the easiest way, like we said, is just get more live at bats. So the more times you can hit, the better you're gonna get at recognizing pitches. So playing in games is the easiest way, right? The more games I play, the better I should get. My pitch recognition should improve as I play in more games, right? The second thing, doesn't have to be a game, it can just be a live at bat. And so one thing that we do at our practices is we have our pitchers throwing to hitters. And so when we do this, two things. First, we're having the pitchers throw, so the hitters are in the game, right? They're putting themselves in a mindset that they're in a game, they're trying to read the pitch as early as possible, and they're looking for those things that we just talked about. We also will have a batter behind them. So during the off season, we're indoors, we're right in here. We'll have a hitter behind the net, outside the cage, but they are tracking, they're getting themselves ready. So one, they're getting their timing down as far as how early should they start to pick up their foot in stride, but they're not just doing that. And sometimes hitters will just do that, but they're also trying to recognize and read the pitch out of the hand, okay? And another way you can do that is verbalize it. And so put yourself in a count, anticipate what pitch you're looking for, right? So let's just say that we're gonna hit a fastball, right? We're looking fastball. Well, you know, I might not be able to swing because I got people around, but I can prep myself to hit, and then I can verbalize if I'm gonna swing or not. So it would look like this. I'd get ready and I'd go, yes, if I'm gonna hit, right? If I'm not, I just take it, right? And so you can do that. You can sit fastball. Maybe you're gonna sit breaking ball. Put yourself in a advantage count, put yourself in a 2-strike count. You can switch it up and play games, but what you wanna do is make sure that you have a game situation in your head. So I have the count, I know what pitch I'm looking for. If it's 2 strikes, well now I've gotta be able to battle off basically anything. I've gotta be ready to hit a breaking ball or a fastball, right? And so I think about my approach, and then I go to work. And again, if I'm gonna swing, yes, and I stop, okay? So that's an easy way to get a lot of reps. You can get them in the game or in practice. You can get them outside of the cage, just getting an extra rep out there, okay? Other ways you can do it. Pitchers throwing bullpens. Now, you can stand in on a bullpen, right? So you've got a pitcher throwing a bullpen, you can stand in, and by stand in, I just mean pitcher throwing a bullpen. I'm just gonna stand in here and I'm gonna track. And again, I'm not just tracking, I'm not just mindlessly watching a ball, because it's not just about watching the ball come out of the hand. Like, is that better than nothing? Yes. But it's about seeing the ball come out of the hand and then reading it and recognizing it and then making a decision, right? The decision part is really important. If I'm just reading it, okay, there's a curveball. All right, there's a fastball. Okay, there's a curveball. Again, that's better than nothing. But in the game, you have to make a decision, right? And we talk about yes, yes, no. So yes, yes, no is basically I'm setting myself up, I'm anticipating the pitch, and I'm swinging, and all I have to say is no, right? So as you move up in levels, pitchers get better. I can't sit there and go, all right, let's see, yeah, maybe, let's see, yes, no, yes, swing. If you do that, you're gonna be late. So we try to take, that would be making two decisions, yes or no. What we try to do is put our mindset in the yes mode. So all you have to say is no. So I'm thinking yes, 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 and I hit. And then I'm thinking yes, 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 yes. No, that's not my pitch. So all I had to make one decision, say no. That's it. Okay, so you've got to put yourself in that type of mindset. I'm not just identifying the pitches, but I'm making my decision, okay? And that's where you really get good practice. So you can bullpen, stand in, do the same thing that we did verbalizing it, right? Can't really swing in a bullpen, so you just verbalize it. One way that you can do it, and that we've done in the past, is, I'll show you right here, we'll put a screen right here, all right? So we'll put a screen, and for this one, all you need is a pitcher. You don't even need a pitcher. Maybe you grab, just someone that can throw and just mix up some pitches. We put the screen here, protects the hitter. Sometimes pitchers don't like guys standing in because they're afraid they might hit them. So we'll just put the screen there. We'll just put a little bit behind the plate, and I'm just going to stand in there and I'm tracking the pitches. Now you can verbalize it, or what I'm doing here is I've got room and I'm actually swinging. I'm using a wiffle ball bat here, but I'm reading the pitch, recognizing it, and then I am swinging the bat. So if I'm thinking yes, 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 I swing. Now I'm not going to hit the ball because I'm behind the screen, but I can get my swing off on pitches that I want. So now I'm really recognizing spin. I'm seeing how the ball comes out of the hand. I'm seeing, the small differences with the placement of the hand and the ball. All right. So this is just another way to do it. So it's, the biggest thing is I've got to get reps. Right? I've got to be able to get reps, and on those reps, I need to recognize the ball, but I need to make a decision. Right? That's what helps you in a game. In a game, it's all about reading and recognizing and making a decision. And so I can't not, if I have practice, but I don't have the whole process, it's not going to really help me. All right, so hopefully that makes sense. Let me know if you have any questions in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, all that good stuff. We'll talk to you later.
Oh, I hit it! How did that happen?
You were on it.
Holy
That thing would have gone a long way.
scared me a little bit. What the hell? I guess that was a little too close.
If you've enjoyed this video and want to learn more about building the elite swing, check out our new course. We have over 2 hours of content, almost 30 hitting drills. We break down the exact mechanics that you're going to want to implement into your swing. I've put the link in the description if you want to go check it out.